Hey guys, so I'm finally going to talk about a new RP today. I put out a poll on Twitter asking who I should do a story time about, and everyone voted for the shy tiger girl, Regina. So I guess before I get into it, make sure to subscribe and like this video. I don't know, hit the bell. Honestly, if you're watching this, you're probably already subscribed because I don't think these videos draw in new viewers very much. But anyways, I guess if you're new, subscribe, woo, for more art and OC talks. So, new heckin' RP. So we have been calling this new RP that we haven't talked about on the channel yet. It is called the Furry Dragon Apocalypse RP. I love our names for things. They're so freaking weird. It's like a Mad Libs. But anyways, it'll become clear to you as this goes along why it is called that. I'll just jump into Regina's story. So Regina, she is a college girl. She's super sweet. I think she's like a first year in college. And she is a lesbian. She's looking for other queer folk on campus to hang out with, but she's very shy. She has social anxiety, and she has trouble talking to people, but she's trying her best to be single and ready to mingle. So she works at a coffee shop. She has a roommate, and they hardly talk because they're both kind of shy, quiet people. So her roommate is Rachel, who we will talk about in another video. This RP has lots and lots of characters because, usually when we start an RP, we'll have one character each, me and Bones, and kind of slowly add characters as we go. But for this one, we decided to create 10 characters between us and just jump in and see what happens to each of them. So we'll probably have a few videos describing these different characters. And I'm not going to go into huge detail about other characters' storylines, so bear with me here. Okay. So Regina, she works in the coffee shop, and she makes friends with Ava, who's one of my characters, and Adelaide, who's one of Bones' characters. And so Adelaide is new working at the coffee shop. She's a new hire, and she is kind of spacey and has trouble with zoning out and stuff. Maybe not zoning out, but not paying attention. And so Regina is training her, and Ava has given up because she's not very nice, and she's like, Regina, you deal with her. I'm out of here. So Regina and Adelaide become friends pretty quickly because Adelaide is pretty sweet. And then Fern walks in to the cafe. So Fern is one of the teaching assistants in the science department, and they are a cutie. They're non-binary and into science and always working hard. And so they come into the shop every day, and they get a tea and a cookie or something. And so Regina has memorized their order and really wants to talk to them and just thinks they're so cool. And she's like, I wish I could be that cool and calm and talkative and nice, and man, aren't they cool? And Adelaide's like, do you have a crush on Fern? And Regina's like, no, shut up. So yeah, Fern is also a character that belongs to Bones. So Regina struggles with talking to Fern. She's just like, I just want to be their friend, and I don't know how to talk to them. And Adelaide tries to just go say hey. And Regina's like, no, I can't do that. That's scary. So she does not go talk to Fern because she's just too shy. Then reading week happens, which where all the students get a week off to go visit family and get a break from school stuff. So Regina goes home to see her family. She lives with her dad. Well, she lives in school in the dorms, but she goes home to visit her parents, and then the dragons attack. So this RP has a modern setting, and it's not fantastical up until dragons show up. So they all awaken. They're old gods, kind of. They're spirits or whatever. And so they suddenly wake up, and overnight, not everyone, like half the population is turned into anthros. And depending on where you live, informs what animal you are. So, for example, the school where Regina goes to college in another town from where her parents live, they're all turned into like wolves and dogs and foxes and stuff. But where she's living, everyone is turned into tigers. So she wakes up and her mom is like still a human, but her dad's been turned into a tiger and she's a tiger, and everyone's freaking out and the world kind of goes on pause for a little bit. And then these dragons start talking in people's heads. So they all like ask for different things, and they've kind of like claimed these territories as like their home or their kingdom or whatever. And so the tiger dragon, his name is Amaranth. He doesn't show himself. He's like waiting in the shadows for everyone. But he talks in Regina's head, and he's like, I want a blood sacrifice. I want you to go out and commit murder for me. And she's like, no, I don't want to do that. So she hides for a little bit. She just stays home and doesn't go anywhere. But like things start to calm down, life starts to go back to normal. She eventually decides to go back to school, and like it's weird. So life kind of picks up like normal. Everyone goes back to work and school. Now just half of everyone is like a furry, and they gotta get used to that. So yeah, Regina, she goes back to work at the cafe. Adelaide and Ava have been turned into animals. I won't spoil what they are, because we'll leave that for future videos. But yeah, so they come back. It's all very weird and everyone's getting used to it. But like, at least Regina's like a cute tiger. Yeah. So when she comes back, she discovers that her roommate has disappeared as well. And that happened like a few places. People just kind of, some people just didn't come back after reading week because like they got stuck in their city doing a thing for the dragon, or like if, you're turned into like an aquatic anthro, you can't really leave the water. So like, oh no. A few people didn't come back, including her roommate, and so Regina's really worried about Rachel, like what happened to her? I can't get in contact with her. This is scary. But yeah, so she goes back to the cafe. Adelaide is still nudging her to talk to Fern, and she's still feeling too shy. But then, the next time that Fern comes in, Fern is still a human, to everyone's surprise. No one really knows, like, what determines, like, if they stayed a human or if they were turned into an anthro. They're still piecing that together in the RP. But yeah, so Fern comes in, still a human, but they're with their young cousin, who's like a kid, who has been turned into a lemur. And Regina's like, oh my god, what happened? You look tired and terrible. And Fern's like, oh, well, on the night when the dragon showed up, I was babysitting, and now I have to take care of my cousin. And Regina's like, oh, that sounds really tough. And Fern's like, yeah, it is. I'm really tired, and I don't get much sleep anymore, and everything is bad. But I'm gonna keep trucking along and try to stay positive. And Regina's like, is there any way I can help? And they're like, well, I don't know. I don't think there's anything you can do. I'm just kind of grading papers and looking after Lena and trying my best. And Regina's like, well, if you're struggling with, like, keeping up with your work, like, maybe I could look after Lena. Like, I could be a babysitter. And Fern's like, I guess we could try. And Lena is like, no. So Lena is, like, terrified of strangers and anyone besides Fern right now, and she is like, I'm not hanging out with this tiger, she's scary. And Regina's like, oh no, I'm nice. And she just has not been able to convince Lena that she is nice yet. But she finally worked up the courage to talk to Fern, which is great, and she was just surprised that Fern was nice and wanted to talk to her too. But yeah, Fern is nice. So, there you go. So, meanwhile, the next full moon hits, and turns out, every full moon, the dragons kind of like, they create more trouble. They kind of like raise the bar for trouble. And so, I can't remember what Amaranth asks for on the second full moon, But what also happens is Regina starts noticing, like, changes. Like, she notices that, like, the color of her fur has gotten duller, and, like, her stripes look weird, and her tail's looking a little bit thinner, and she's like, okay. I mean, magic is real, nothing can surprise me, but what is going on? And Amaranth keeps asking for stuff, and Regina's like, no, I'm not doing murder stuff. No. So she keeps ignoring, like, the call from the dragon. And then the following full moon, so it's been like 2-3 months, her fur starts going white, and her tail gets really skinny, and her fur gets shorter, and it looks really weird, and she's like, what is going on? Why am I a white tiger now? What is happening? So we're still figuring out what the heck is going on there. That's a good old mystery that she's working on, and I'm sure we'll get more into the explanation in the next video featuring these characters. Hua! Will Regina smooch Fern? Or will they just be friends? Will she befriend Lena and babysit her? I also kind of ship Regina and Adelaide. Also very cute. So maybe we'll get into that more when Bones does his video about Adelaide. So there you go. Mysteries, intrigue, smooching. So we will definitely do more videos about these characters. I'm really excited to finally draw them. So we've been working on this RP for like at least a month, probably more. We took a break from talking about RP characters to talk about Honeywalls last month. I'm excited to finally draw these characters. I've been wanting to for a while, and there's lots of them. So I get to draw lots of cute animals and people, and I guess I'll talk to you more in the next OC video. Make sure to subscribe. Like I said, I guess, leave a comment about, I don't know, do you have any questions about this world? Like, did I not explain anything very well? I guess leave a question and we'll probably answer it in the next OC video. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go. Goodbye.